Hello, good evening and welcome to Rangers Radio. Join myself, Fox Chair, on the show this evening. It's our Linda and the one and only Jaffa. How we doing, Linda? How we doing, Jaffa?
Oh, evening, Oxchair. Evening, Jaffa. Evening, everyone. Hope you're all keeping safe and well.
How you doing, Ox? How you doing, Linda? Thanks for having me here. Great to be on Rangers Radio again.
All right, just for anybody that's no caught, don't worry. The bridge man's okay. He's just dealing with some stuff. As I said, he's no went to Villa TV. He's sticking with the Rangers.
Up the Villa.
Exactly. Right up them. Right. Enough of that. Right, okay. Well, we might as well get it off of you too. Right. I'll go ladies first, if that's all right with you, Jaffa.
No bother at all.
Okay. Linda, come on, give us your thoughts. Get it. Have your mind.
Yeah, just about recovered from Sunday. Probably like everybody else, a mixture of anger and disappointment. Yeah, just couldn't believe the score, obviously, after 35 minutes. Just as I said, really disappointing performance. Don't think any of them really got pass marks, and it was just a day where we wanted them to go out and just win a game of football for us, Ox, and they let everybody down. But I know you guys have covered it, and we just need to park it now and look forward, and hopefully Gio and his backroom team have got them all motivated for tomorrow night, because they really do owe us a performance now.
Yeah, okay. Anger and disappointment. Sounds like Mrs. Jaffa. Right, okay.
That's a shame, Jaffa.
Indeed. Oh, I was raging on Sunday. Oh, like the rest of us. That drive home was the longest drive in the world back from Hampden. Hate that place so I do. Hate it. It was just like you guys have said and you have covered, Docs. I've listened to the shows the last couple of nights. Just despair, so many things. Players off the pace, and Morelos, his performance was so frustrating in there. You feel so guilty at times, Ox, when you're criticising them in the stand. But what else can you do? You're raging. I know, and Ox, I don't know, and I'm sure you're all the same. I've watched the game back again. See, in between their first goal and their second goal, and their second goal and their third goal, we actually played no too bad. We had a couple of wee chances. We didn't create enough chances, but we were still on the front foot. It was a day to forget. I've parked it. I'm over it. I'm done with it.
All right, okay. Well, right, okay. I think we'll park it, no mention it, and let him calm down. Linda, what do you think?
It sounds like a plan, but I totally understand where Jaffa's coming from, and it must have been horrendous, and I don't know how all the Rangers fans stayed on, but they supported the team unbelievably, didn't they? And that, for me, that was the people that got let down the most.
Yeah,
was the fans that turned up.
Without a doubt. Fox was talking about getting one of these leather settees for the studio. I says, we can't take that. Oh, come in, lie down, and he's on the problems. You know what I mean, Jeff?
the shrinks.
No, don't get one of them. No.
Ox, you'll have a white overall on if you do that.
JFK walked in. Just give me 10 minutes. So 2 hours later, you'd still be sitting there. Then Southside would be in Big Stevie. Big Stevie would be in. I'd be there for 2 days, Anyway, well, I get it. I get the disappointment. I get the anger. I get the emotions. See, when we talk about emotion, do you think that players are affected by emotions? I don't know. The change, the uncertainty for a few days. Do you think that affected them? Or, Jaffa, was it as simple as we were just poor?
No, I think it has an effect, Dogs. I think the turmoil with Gerrard leaving, it would have to. I mean, listen, what we can't deny is what he's done for us in the last 3.5 years. I'm not going to sit here and start, I was angry with the way it happened, but it's happened and it's done now. But it has an effect, Dogs. It's when any senior employee leaves any business, and a football club's no any different. Of course, there'll be certain players that will affect more than others. There'll be a few in the camp probably quite glad to see the back here. That's just football dressing rooms.
Always,
yeah.
Mate. Always.
Aye. There'll be a couple of guys in there that'll be going, happy days, there's a clean slate, let's get started with a new guy. But the majority were on board. Let's not be kidding about it. And I think I just said to you there, my interpretation was moderately different. Like with Golson's interview, I just, for what it is, and for my tuppence worth, I thought my immediate thought when I heard it, I thought he was throwing Gerrard and the backroom team. I thought he was throwing them under the bus. That's what I interpreted it as.
Okay, mate. All right. Listen, I think we've covered the ghosting bit, and with some people out there, I'll just need to agree to disagree. I've got my thoughts. I don't get upset about pettiness. He said something in the heat of the moment. If anybody's not done that, well, they're a better man than I am, Linda.
Yeah, and I think most of it, I don't think you could argue with. The only thing I had an issue with was the 3-1 down thing and the game was over. And also, obviously, the wee bit at the end about the hunger. But that's, it's not a major thing. But what it has resulted in, and it's part and parcel of the game, and Gio's coped with it, is questions that he's been asked at these pressers the last couple of days.
Hold that thought.
Yeah,
because we might hear it, and then you can bring that one up, yeah?
Yeah,
that's a great, see, a total professional. See what she done there, Jaffa? She just took his Gio's interview. That's how she gets the big bucks and we don't, Jaffa.
It's called a fluke.
Absolutely.
Right, now that you've mentioned it, Linda, why don't we hear from our manager, Giovanni Van Bronckhorst?
My question is for Giovanni. Good afternoon, Giovanni. You took your first training session yesterday with the players. What was the mood in the camp like? And do you feel that the players are ready to go into the game tomorrow night?
Yes, I think they're ready. Of course, it's a new start for them as well with me coming in as the new manager. So of course disappointed from the result in the weekend, but all we do is look positive to the game we play tomorrow. They worked hard. They looked very fresh and sharp, and that's what we need tomorrow. So I think we are well prepared for the game which comes tomorrow, and we go for a good result at home because we want to still be in Europe after Christmas. So that's our main objective tomorrow.
Giovanni, you've obviously mentioned what's at stake tomorrow night. I take it you'll want to see that hunger straight away from your players tomorrow evening in front of that home crowd as well.
Yes, of course, because we need that every game. I think you have to have that to achieve something, to win games, and that's what we need. It's a home game, a special game in Europe. Also great nights at Ibrox in Europe, and of course with the support of all the fans who are in the stadium. We have to create an atmosphere and environment which we can play well and win the game.
Giovanni, Sunday unfortunately was an example of the defensive weakness that Rangers have shown this season. What kind of thing is key for you and the coaching team to improve the defensive record?
Well, of course, we weren't happy with the results. Also, not happy with the goals we conceded. Those 3 goals. So we have to make sure we are defensively much more focused, much more compact. And for me, the defending part of the game is for everyone. So we trained technically the last days to make sure we are well prepared for Prague tomorrow. And the first thing you want to do, not only in Europe but in every game, is to be defensively solid, to keep the 0 and try to win the game by scoring goals. So that's the main objective tomorrow, to defend really well and to make sure we keep the 0.
Good afternoon, Giovanni. Have you and the players sat and watched the game from Sunday and used that as preparation for this game? And can the Rangers supporters expect to see changes to the team for tomorrow night?
Well, we are preparing the boys well for tomorrow. Of course, you always take the last game also at notice. Some things I saw which I thought we need to improve, and all with in mind to be better prepared for tomorrow. And then so that's for me always the case. Looking forward, but if we can improve things, and obviously we have to, then I will take that in account as well. So it's a little bit of both, looking a little bit back to the next game in which areas we have to improve and how, and also prepare for the next opponent tactically and the way we want to play when we have the ball and when we want to win the ball back.
Giovanni, what have you said to the players? I know you've not had a lot of time to work with them, but in terms of what you want to do, the tweaks, the changes, and how to put your stamp on Rangers just now?
Well, as you said, it's a very short time. Only 2 days when I train with the players, but I think they can already sense the things what I want to change, and I think what needs to be needed to become successful again. Not only on the pitch, but also the way we behave as a team, and the way we have to be prepared also mentally. And so that in that way, you cannot do everything in 2 days. I need more time, but step by step, I'm sure the players will understand the way I work, and also the way I want to play.
Sparta usually play with two pretty high-scoring wingers. Do you intend to take care of them especially, or do you expect to be able to contain them with the system that the team's been playing this season?
Well, I think, I'm here, as the new manager. I have certain ways of playing against different systems. But, you will see a team tomorrow in the system I like to play, and also think it's best to play against Prague. As you said, a different system against Prague than it was against Hibs. But I think also a different coach with different ideas, different ways of playing. So I think you would definitely see some changes, yeah.
Hi, Giovanni. Unfortunately, on a couple of occasions against teams from Prague, we've seen instances of really shocking sort of racial behaviour towards some Rangers players. Considering the behaviour of the away fans, in the past, is that something that concerns you and the players? And if indeed, unfortunately, that were to happen, how can you protect your players from that?
Well, I think we've seen a lot of circumstances, on the stands. I think not only the games we played against Prague, but you can see it in football. It's definitely a thing we want to get rid of. But also, no, it's hard to get rid of. It's not like it's still there. But we have to be focused on the match and make sure we are performing well on the pitch, and to be fully focused on the thing we want to do, and that's win against Prague.
Hi, Giovanni. You spoke earlier, just a couple of minutes ago, about the importance of how you behave as a team and being mentally prepared. Can I ask you to expand a bit on that? What does that look like? What is it you're demanding from the squad to do different, maybe in terms of their behaviour or mentality at the moment?
Well, I don't know. I think it's, as I said, I have a certain way of working, certain things I expect from my players and want. It's just not a change like maybe different. I don't know how previous managers worked. I think Gerard worked in a certain way. I work in a certain way, but I demand that we are playing as a team, and we do everything we can to play as a team as well. If it's defending or attacking, so we need to be prepared. We have our tasks. The players have their task on the pitch. They know. We talked a lot about it the last couple of days. So now then we need to execute that tomorrow and make sure we are ready for Prague.
On a personal level, your first game back at Ibrox as manager, I'd imagine it'll be quite an emotional night for you in some ways. You obviously have to separate that from the job you've got to do. But how are you looking forward to it from that perspective?
Well, I'm looking forward to the first game back in the stadium. Of course, it will bring many memories of my time when I was a player. Very, very good memories. So I can't wait to feel the atmosphere again in the stadium. But I'm old enough to separate my emotions into the focus I need to perform with the team. So beforehand it will be quite mixed feelings, but once the whistle goes from the referee, I will be fully focused on my task, and that's to guide my team into victory.
Giovanni, what are your favourite memories as a player from European nights at Ibrox?
Well, a couple. Of course, I think the Parma game we had, a qualification for the Champions League was a very, good experience. Of course, we qualified for the group stages against the Parma team full of, international stars. I think it was, for me, one of the best nights I had with Rangers. And of course, playing against the likes of Bayern Munich, Monaco, which also, we want to have. At that time, we could compete with the top clubs. So that was good for us as players, but also good as a team, and of course for the club as well. So always good memories in Europe.
Giovanni, I just wondered if you'd felt the need to talk to Connor Goldson in particular about the comments, given that they were quite significant about the squad's mentality as a whole.
Yeah, well, of course. I mean, it's obviously, the team wasn't happy. It wasn't in a good place on Sunday. I think also quite an emotional game for the team, for the club, being out of the cup after the game. I think for me, the most important thing is to look forward. I think if you might feel that as a player, you need to work hard to keep the hunger, to keep the desire you have, the willingness to work hard, and that's what I demand from day one. And so far, it's been really good. I think the most important thing is you want to be a better player, a better team, in the coming days, weeks, months, years, and that's what you have to do, being part of this club, and that's what I also demand from all my players, and I'm looking forward to work with the players also in that aspect for the next months, because so far this season we haven't won anything. Of course, we're the champions last year, which was a great performance from everyone. But this year is a new year, and we have to be there. We have to be ready, and we have to be fully focused and for the games that come. And as I said before, I want to be involved in Europe as well after the winter break. So tomorrow is a good chance to make a good step.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972? It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
I did question so many questions. The guy's been in the job for 2 days? The players come back yesterday. They must think he's Harry Potter. Linda?
Houdini, more like it. I know. I don't know if they have a list of questions, and if somebody else has asked them lots, they seem to run out, and then they just kind of make it up. Some of the things they ask him, he's not going to divulge his team or his tactics, etc. But yeah, he handled them all very well, as did our previous manager. So that bodes well for the future.
Yeah.
Yeah, said all the things that you would expect him to say. A few interesting things as well about maybe potential changes. I don't know if he's maybe talking about tweaks to formations. It could be personnel. But yeah, I thought he handled the presser very well, Ox.
Yeah. He seems like a very articulate man, Jaffa.
Yeah, he does, Ox. He comes across a whole lot better as I remember him as a player, to be honest with you. But we didn't get as much exposure to them in those days, did we, as we do nowadays?
No.
He spoke very well, incredibly professional. Everything he said, but I mean, as you said, some of the questions about, what do you know about Sparta Prague and stuff like that. I mean, he's not going to divulge that, even if he does. And he's been a top manager at Feyenoord. Of course, he'll know about Sparta Prague. And some of his backroom team will. But yeah, I thought he sounded great. He came across great. And, he was ice cold with some of the things. And I like that about him. I was getting memories of Walter Smith a wee bit there when I was listening to some of his stuff.
All right, okay. All right. I think I don't think the impression I get, and I might be wrong here, I think as time goes on, I don't think he's going to suffer fools, Linda.
No, because I think he said that clearly over the last couple of days when he's, when he was unveiled as Rangers manager. He was asked some questions about that too, in terms of personnel comments after Sunday, etc. And he gave you the impression that if it's a case of if they're not on board, if they don't want to play for him, they don't want to play for the club, then I'm afraid they won't be there. He's obviously got to work with that group of players until January. It'll give him some time to assess, although as he rightly said, he's got a couple of days worth of training so far. The games are going to come thick and fast. He's not got a pre-season, so he'll really be needing to look at them closely. But a run of games, Ox, is maybe not a bad thing, so that he can get a view of how they're playing and whether they've got a future under him.
It's a real unusual scenario for a manager to come in. He's come in and we're 4 points clear at the top of the league, Jaffa. That's pretty unusual for a managerial change, isn't it?
It's usually the opposite way around, Ox, of course, because that it's because the manager's under pressure and they've left. But you're right, it is very strange. And not only that, I mean, the game tomorrow night could see us, still in the Europa Cup and carrying on with it. And even if we end up third, we're most likely probably going to end up in the Conference Cup. And for revenue for the club, that might not be quite as bad as it sounds. But yeah, okay, we lost on Sunday and that's gone now. But it is a very strange scenario. But the players have got to buy into Giovanni Van Bronckhorst's way, and the dressing room has to be galvanised if it isn't already. And if there's some issues there, then they need to be ironed out. And the players that don't want to be there, as Linda quite rightly says, and I've heard you say it 100 times, Ox, and I'm in total agreement with it. If you don't want to be there, guys, you know where the door is.
You're here.
I just think it's a trait of modern football, Jaffa. You're getting people moving them on at all clubs, yeah, is the most difficult part now. You're snookered, you give him a 3-year contract. Halfway through it, you think, time to move this guy on, or a year into it, you want to move this guy on, and if he doesn't want to go, you're stuck with him, so your plan's narrow, Wonder, because you've not got the wages to the disposal to bring the guys in.
Yeah, and obviously also because you've only got the two transfer windows as well, haven't you? Gone are the days where you could just go into the transfer market at any point, or you could try and punt somebody at any point. So you have got to work with what you've got. They do hold the cards as well. We've said this before. Players that are running down their contracts, they can maybe go for free in the summer. They don't sign. We've got players that haven't signed contracts that I don't know whether we would want them to sign now. That's another discussion. So the players do hold all the cards. But as Jaffa was saying, earlier on, that these players do need to step up now, Ox, because I know he's come in at a time when we're 4 points clear, but he's also come in at a time when we're just off form. And if we don't start to capture some form, I'm not saying everybody needs to be 100%, but we do need to start playing better, because in the coming weeks, if we don't pick up form, you could start to see leads evaporate. And, then, what happens, like that bad form just keeps going and it sets in. But I'm not expecting that. I really think we're going to get a good bounce in terms of Gio and his backroom team coming in.
I hope so, Linda. I hope so. But it's the hardest part of football management now, player trading, Jaffa.
Yes, aye, and we're right in the middle of that, Ox, because we know there's a couple of guys in there that probably want to move on, or they're coming to a time where they need to move on, probably for their own benefit of their career, for us to get some money from them. It's the only way that we're going to probably raise funds for Giovanni to go into the transfer market as well. And he'll have targets, no doubt, that he would like to identify. And the other thing, Ox, as well, this is part of the problem when you're a really big football club like we are, is, and you only need to look at our wage bill, we do pay at the top end or the bottom end of the EPL, but we pay the top end in Scotland. So there's guys in there that are getting really strong money. And when you know what happens when you get really strong money, you don't want to go back down the way. Exactly.
By the way, I don't know if you've seen the training video today. Did you catch that at all?
Yeah.
I didn't, Ox. I didn't see it.
Some fantastic news at the club. Fantastic. we managed to keep custody of Andy Firth, yeah?
Is he still there then? Aye.
Oh, he's still there. And I seen Brandon Barker as well.
I
I saw him smiling.
See that? Brandon was still there.
Aye. And I just watched it for a couple of minutes, and I watched that boy Stephen Kelly just right next to Stephen Davis, and in the training and in the drills, and I thought, there's a sensible young lad there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, definitely.
It's not a sprint, it's a marathon, eh?
Definitely.
Totally, Ox. Totally.
Listen, it was very remiss of me at the start to the show. I think we should send all our best wishes, I know you agree with me, we talked about it, to John Fleck, one of our own. Good bear, John's family, and obviously he had an incident last night, and we hope everything's all right today and going forward for John Fleck, our ex-player, yeah?
Here.
Absolutely, Ox, 100%, pal.
Yeah. Right, okay, Fox. Yes, I said Fox. Yes, he's going to play a wee jingle for us.
And they're off.
Hi, I'm Big Stevie.
Hi, I'm Southside from Rangers Radio.
As part of our club's 150-year celebrations, Rangers Radio are holding a charity race night on the 26th of March 2022 at the Wee Gels Club outside Ibrox Stadium.
Thanks to everyone who has contributed so far. There are still opportunities for businesses, supporters clubs and individuals to sponsor races and place advertisements within the event programme.
Listeners, including those unable to attend, can purchase tickets for our online Super 6 Races booze cruise to win a super selection of quality spirits provided by the Rangers Radio panellists.
For details how to take part in our Super 6 and how to purchase adverts in our race programme, please visit shop.RangersRadio.online.
Super 6 Races will also be screened live on Facebook. Any listeners wishing to become involved in our sponsorship should contact rangersradio@gmail.com.
All monies raised will go to the Emmy Smiley Charity Foundation, the Rangers Supporters Erskine Appeal and the Robert Mulholland Memorial Parade.
Meanwhile, it's Colonel John Summerbird in the red cap. And Zenyatta's come to the outside. Zenyatta coming flying on the grandstand side. Gio Conti on the inside. Summerbird is right there. This is unbelievable.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972. It's your show. It's your platform. Let's hear from you.
The last time there was a double act like that too was when Abbott and Costello met the mummy. Yeah. Oh dear.
I bet you said fun doing that.
Linda will tell you, it is fun, isn't it?
It's no easy, Jaffa. There's a few takes, I'm telling you.
Don't worry, Jaffa, your turn will come.
It's getting close, though. It's getting close.
Yes, it is. I think they two are up for a dafter. They two have done a laugh one.
A dafter.
But just to let you know, we've got 3 races left to sponsor so far. So out of 8 races, we'll get 5 of them sorted. So we'll get 3 races left. Things are moving. And then we'll be starting to make some other announcements and things are falling into place. And we can't thank people enough for their generosity so far. It's been fantastic. And we'll not apologise for trying to raise money for good Rangers causes. Rangers Radio is not for profit. And all money raised will go to the 3 causes, yeah?
Lovely.
Fabulous.
Right, okay. Oh, by the way, the trumpets, I've just got to put this out. The trumpets are especially for Port Bear. Right, you'll get that one. You'll get that one. Right, okay, where are we? So we're building up to Thursday night. Well, if there's callers coming in, I'm going to put you on the hot seat, Linda. Give us your team.
Oh, well, after much deliberation, my team for tomorrow night, McGregor in goals. My back 4 is Tav, Goldson, Balogun and Bassey. 3 midfielders are Bacuna, Davis and Kamara. and I've gone for Kent, Sakala and Aribo as the front three.
Run through that again quickly.
So
My
back
pen
four,
stopped working.
it ran out of ink. You ready? Right, back four. I've just gone for McGregor in goals, but my back four's Tav, Goldson, Balogun and Bassey. I've gone for Bacuna, Davis and Kamara in midfield, and my three up front is Kent, Sakala and Aribo.
Okay. Jaffa, God, that's a bit of a look you gave her there. Jaffa, give us yours then.
Like Linda, I don't think he'll make a lot of big holes. I mean, I know he's indicated he's going to make some changes, but I don't think it'll be big change. I think you might see a couple of different faces from Sunday. I think you might put McLaughlin in goal. Start with McLaughlin, and the back four. I think he'll change Bassey, put Bassey in, and also Patterson. So big Balogun, Goldson, and I think he'll play Patterson. And I think he'll play Bassey as well. Middle of the park. Actually, I had exactly the same middle three as Linda had. Bacuna, Davis, and Kamara. And up top, Sakala leading the line, and on the wing, Kent and Aribo on the other side.
Okay.
So all the changes at the back end for me.
All right. Are you saying that Alan McGregor's dropped, Jaffa?
Yes, because as far as I heard a wee whisper through the grapevine that he's had a wrist injury this season quite a lot of the time, which is why he's been in and out of the team. So I don't know how true that is, a wrist injury. So if he's carrying a wee bit of an injury, I thought on Sunday, and a couple of times I have to say, Ox, I've questioned a couple of getting down, the speed he's getting down at, and I feel terrible. I do. I genuinely do. I don't think I'm not entirely comfortable criticising Alan McGregor, because what he's done for our club and the longevity that he's done it over, he's an absolutely top end goalkeeper, and he'll always be in folklore of the Rangers history books. Some of the saves that he's pulled off, but maybe a wee couple of weeks out of the team to get himself back into tip top condition. I don't think it should be a bad shout, and I would certainly put Big McLaughlin in.
All right, you've went with Alan in the team, Linda?
Yeah, but it is a question, and it wouldn't surprise me if McLaughlin does get picked. Is Alan out of form, or is it a case of he made big saves for his particular last season, and perhaps it's those massive saves, the game-winning saves, or, like saves that are getting his 3 points instead of the one, etc., or even just one instead of none? Or is it that he's just, it's the defence in front of him, even the full team from a defensive perspective? That
Combination
of both. Possibly.
But I will say that he's not making the saves. I mean, obviously, but I don't think he was great at the first two goals. Now, his decision making to come and take that cross, for me, it's in the 6-yard box. And then it becomes a whole different game, Linda.
Yeah. I've got to say to you, Ox, as well, that it's just my own opinion of Alan, is that I don't think he's ever been a goalie that comes out and totally punches the ball or takes the ball. I think McLaughlin's more like that, but he's more than made up for that with the types of saves that he's made. And I think you're right. I think there's certain goals this season in particular that I think he would have saved last year. And I know we can't think about last year, but that's all we've got to compare it with just now. And I'm not saying that he should be dropped forever. As I say, I've got him in the team. I don't know what Gio will do tomorrow in terms of the goalie.
Okay, we'll come on that. Okay, right, Jaffa, you've dropped the captain. You dropping him?
Yeah, again, similar kind of thinking. Tav, again, I'm not arguing with stats, Ox, and I know his assists this season have also been brilliant. But I do like when I've seen Patterson in the few games that I've saw him starting for both us and for Scotland this season. I thought he's looked really, really good, and I think the young lad deserves a chance in the team.
Okay, all right. I mean, I don't think you're alone in that thinking. Linda, you went for Tav, didn't you?
Yeah, only on the basis that for a new manager to come in and drop the captain, and you know what, he might do it and it's brave of him. I'm not so sure he will. If he does, I hope Patterson comes in and has the same impact that he did when he came in and played for Scotland recently. I'll support him 100% if he starts. I'm just wondering, Ox, in terms of Tav's confidence, etc., going forward, whether that would be the right move. But I do accept that you have to do what's right for the team, and it's imperative that we get the right result tomorrow night. So there is obviously a case for starting young Nathan.
Okay, glad to see he's Lundstrom playing at centre back. Don't worry about getting him tested for to see if he was on medication. But you both went for Bassey at left back, yeah?
Yes.
I think that's the easiest decision of all of them. I think Barisic just so. I thought
he was actually my best player Sunday, and that's gone. So.
Aye. Porteous were just dropping that ball between that channel locks, and it was like a hot potato every time it came over, and it caused mayhem. And that's where the bother was causing Sunday, wasn't it?
For about 5 minutes, the damage was done.
Yeah. That's all it took.
Okay, we're short in centre back, so I think we'll have to go with the two boys. Okay, we've moved into the middle, and then Davis is still there. I thought Davis was neat and tidy, but wasn't great on Sunday. But arguably maybe we're second or third best player on the pitch. But Kuna, you bathed him. Let's see, yeah.
Yeah. I bet
just the cameos that I've... Sorry, Linda, carry on.
No, on you go, Jaffa.
I was just going to say, just the cameos that I've seen of him, Ox, I would like to see him. I'd like to see the guy getting a run. He actually looks as though he's got something about him. He wants to get forward. He's the other thing is if he doesn't play Bakuna, he could go with Hadji, because I actually think Yanis Hadji's he's going to catch Giovanni Van Bronckhorst's eye, just for his skill set. I can see Van Bronckhorst really liking him because he's a technical player, and the Dutch way, that's their philosophy, isn't it?
Okay, all right. And we've actually been joined by my big mucker, Big Ulster. How we doing, big man?
Hi everyone, how yous keeping?
Hey Ulster, how you doing?
I'm all good.
Hi Ulster. How you doing, mate?
Yeah, I'm okay. I'm alright. Apart from Rangers at the minute, but everything else is good.
Give us your thoughts, big man.
Oh no, I was disappointed in how we played there in the Cup semi-final. I know we're probably looking more, tonight's show is probably more towards the game tomorrow. I'm excited for that, but still a bit downbeat after the performance on Sunday. I just thought it was sort of reminiscent of what we've been doing all season, but we've been getting away with it in some of the games. We haven't been our best, but it all fell apart for us there on Sunday. And if you keep going behind in games, it's hard to claw it back, but it was just too much for us on Sunday. But I was more disappointed in the attitude, because you can lose a game of football. It happens. We've lost many games and we'll lose many games in the future, but there's a manner of losing. And I thought it was pretty disgraceful, to be honest, some of the players in the pitch and how they performed. And obviously some of the comments that we heard afterwards was another kick in the teeth, I think, to quite a lot of us, to be honest, if that's the attitude that's in our team.
Well, if you take Sunday in isolation, mate, that was arguably our second worst performance of the season, Ulster. I think Dundee away might actually been worse than that, and we won the match. Yeah. So yeah. It's not just a one-off, and I think that's what's annoyed people, Linda. We know we can get beat. People can mug us, break away, score goals, and you've one of the days, yeah. But we know that it's not been right all season, or maybe even before that, if I've been honest.
Yeah, definitely this season. As we said a few weeks ago, the list of games that you ran off, and I know maybe we were all a bit shocked at that, when we heard it, when it was broken down, but it was absolutely spot on, and it was the truth. And when we broke it down like that, it was quite stark. And but Sunday, I just expected us to go out and win the game. I really did. I didn't think it was going to be a brilliant performance, but I just didn't think, as Ulster said, that they would all play like they did. you know, and to me it was as if Hibs just looked at what our weaknesses were and they just went for us in that first 30 minutes. The corner, the balls inside down the channels, the errors that we're making. But as I say, the way that the game went, it was a bit of a shock. But when you look at our overall performances this season, Ox, it's been littered with those types of errors throughout, you know, all the games.
She's right, Big Ulster, eh?
Yes, this is correct. 100%. You know, I think the most saddest part was hearing our vice captain saying about the game was over at half time, 3-1 down. What kind of mentality is that to have at Glasgow Rangers Football Club? You're playing against Hibs. It's not Barcelona. You're playing at the Nou Camp. You know what I mean? You're at Hampton Park. You've got the majority of the fans there buzzing. One goal, you know yourself, changes a game in seconds. We've seen that with Manchester United at Bayern Munich in the Champions League. We've seen it ourselves in Braga. You know what I mean? At Ibrox, look how late we came when we came back and got the goals to get ourselves the win. You know, it can happen. But if that's the defeatist attitude that's in the middle of our dressing room at the minute, that's very shocking and worrying. And it obviously means that Goldson and others are looking around them and maybe within themselves and and thinking that they didn't have the fight in them to turn that game around, and that is just unforgivable at Ibrox. So it is, and I feel bad for Gio.
Do you think the team went stale, Ulster? Do you think this change, even though we might not have thought it 2 weeks ago, it could have been a blessing in disguise?
100%. I tell you now, mate. You know yourself. I watch the game with a lot of my mates. Out of the club, we all watch it together every match. And I was calling for the Gerrard thing long before it happened because I could see it. It was a staleness there, and you could see the appetite was gone. It was nothing like it was last season, And even when we eventually won the title last year, I think some of the games towards the end of the season, you could see this creeping in of a mentality of we've done the job. We've seen our ex-manager saying there a quote last week that his remit was completed, and it was as if to say, it was job done. We stopped 10 in a row. That's it. Thanks for your all we've done, But that's, see within yourself, Fox, even as a professional individual, even if that's coming from your management, you think you should have more about you and yourself to think, I want more of this. I've got a hunger. I've won a title. There was no fans in the stadium, but they seen us all celebrating outside the ground and it's in Georgia Square, etc. And you'd think that with all the fans coming back in, they wanted more of this. And to see that some of them have had their hungers filled after one title. What is that? That's a terrible attitude and professionalism from them guys.
I don't know if the modern football. I don't know if the modern football is motivated like Ulster. I think it's we are, and we strive for a passion for our club, Jaffa. But I think the modern football's got different things on his Jaffa.
I think that's a good point, Ox. Obviously, as fans, fans of our football club, Glasgow Rangers, it's a prerequisite that you have desire and you have application and that you're up for every 90 minutes of football you play and every training session that you take. Most of us would give our right arm to play for Glasgow Rangers Football Club, and we can't, and be paid thousands and thousands of pounds for it into the bargain. So, but you're right, Ox, and Linda alluded to earlier on, all the aces lie with the players nowadays, and most of the players, it's hard to get it's hard to motivate them and keep them motivated, and that's the fine balance the manager has. And Steven Gerrard clearly done that for a while, and I think we're all in agreement. And also, we've spoken about it on here on umpteen occasions since the start of the season. But there's been a flatness about it, and clearly now things have happened, and we all know probably other things have been going on in the background for a lot longer than most of us would probably care to know. These negotiations that have probably been taking place.
No, Jeff, it never started. It only started 2 weeks ago.
I know, aye. Yeah, Pinocchio. So listen, checking out all those expressions are used, having your head turned. It happens. Players, we know negotiations go on. And it's up to Giovanni Van Bronckhorst to iron that out and sort it out. And the only thing I would say, also from listening to him and knowing him as we knew him as a player and the Dutch philosophy, you'll get one or two chances and see if you don't turn up. I think you'll be off-ski.
How do we move them on? But Jaffa, we can't get rid of Andy Firth and blooming Brandon Parker.
Well, we'll move them on, Ox. We have got some assets in there. There'll be people out there that want them, whether it be Morelos or whoever. If they want to go, let them go. Whatever we get for them, I don't mean whatever we get for them. You get them. You take anything. But there'll be a fee, Ox, and there'll be players in there. There's asset value. There'll be some you won't, but there'll be some that you can move on if they so wish to. But listen, I'm talking as if that's going to be the case. Maybe things will come out in time. Things will get said to us, and we'll find out more information about what's been going on. But there's certainly an apathy within the camp, and it was displayed on Sunday. And I think Sunday's game was just the crescendo of it all kind of coming together, wasn't it? With I guess the last straw, if you want, where we all went, right, a change needs to, we need to move forward from this and draw a line on it.
Apathy. Angel, Big Steve will be phoning me up asking for a dictionary for his Christmas. But I get all that. I get that. And I listen, I've got a slightly different view on the Connor Goldson thing, Big Ulster. I mean, heat of the moment, we've all said things that we might regret in hindsight. I also agreed with old Davey, when you think about it, maybe some things should be said in the dressing room. Don't know if they've been said week in, week out. He's get frustrated and said it. If he came out and said all the platitudes, there'd be certain people saying, well, he doesn't care, he's not showed any passion. Maybe he showed too much passion, I don't know. You don't know what's going through the guy's head. He might be sitting saying, I wish I never said that. Or he might be sitting, I wish I said more, Ulster. We don't know, I don't know.
Well, this is it. But at the end of the day, though, he can't talk about nobody, mate. He's been terrible all season. And he's another guy there with a good contract has been put in front of him. I think a couple now that he's not back. He's refused to sign. So see, before he turns around and looks at anybody in the eye in that dressing room and asks about hunger, he should be looking within himself. Sign the contract, play better football that you can, which you done last season, or move on. At the end of the day, the Gio's interview was the next day, as we knew he was going to be doing his press conference, and he threw that guy under the bus, mate. He put added pressure on him that he didn't need to do. There was no need for him to come out and say what he said, mate, because at the end, Gio's press conference was talked. The question was asked. It was asked again today to McGregor. It was asked again today to the manager. And it was added pressure put on the Gio, mate, that he didn't need, because we had a good feel factor there with Gio coming in, But now you have the press coming out sitting saying, that there's players there with no heart in them, etc. And I just thought it was pressure that the new manager didn't need coming into the job.
Yeah, I get it, mate. Or maybe he's helped the manager because it's all focused on him and he can come under the radar and just go on with his job, yeah?
Maybe so, mate. We'll wait and see, as I say, as it goes. But if there's anybody who doesn't, we're sort of stuck with the Goldson situation anyway, because we have no other options, so we have to play him. But if I was Gio, I'd be looking at some of those senior players, and we know what football's like. Some people will want to move on. That's just the way it goes in life. As much as we only care about Rangers and we think we're the be all and the end all, but we aren't all the time, the other players, because they look for money and contracts down south, etc. But at least you should be looking at them as professionals and saying, tell you what it is. Anyone doesn't want to be here, play for us. Do your best as a professional for these 9 games coming up, these important games coming up in January. And if anyone wants to move on after that, then I would just let them out of the club, do whatever we can for whatever teams they can go to, and let them go down south.
Yeah, I get it. Right, I'm going to give you Fox's team, and then I'm going to get your team. You want to hear Fox's team?
Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
He is on heavy meds. Right. Okay. he's got McLaughlin in goal. And he's got Patterson, Golson, Balogun, Bassey. I think that was the same as you, Jaffa, yeah?
Sounds the same, man.
He's got Kamara and Lundstrom with Kent, Hadji and Wright. Oh, and Morelos up top. He's playing a 4-2-3-1. Mr. Fox is. Mr. Fox is. Ulster, what do you make of that?
Yeah, it's exciting. I like it. A wee bit of a new formation. Couldn't do any worse. It could maybe give us a wee bit of a difference in what we've been doing so far.
Maybe Andy Firth will be in goal and Brandon Barker will be playing, and I'll have to eat my hat,
Anything can happen. They couldn't show any less hunger. That's the main thing. You know what I mean?
Listen, I don't know. Sakala, mate, I know he's got right in there, but Sakala, I mean, obviously, the way we played on Sunday, we were playing in front of Hibs all the time and made it easy for them. When you've got that pace and you've got him sitting up front along with Alfie or up there, teams have got to worry about getting behind them as well because you've got pace. and it becomes an issue. So I see Sakala maybe getting a start, but we'll see. It'll be interesting when the team's announced because it's Gio's first time, Big Ulster.
Yeah, this is it, mate, and it's going to be, hopefully the atmosphere and all is going to be amazing, and he's going to have a few nerves, but it's a big team that he has to pick because it's probably one of the most important games of the season. It probably, it's going to make or break our European season, what we do here, because if we're all being honest with ourselves, I think going away to Lyon and trying to get a result's going to be very, very tough, let's face it. So if we need a 2-goal, I think it is, don't we, to qualify tomorrow. So hopefully everybody puts a shift in, whoever he plays, mate, and gives it their all. And you know what, if we don't get the 2 goals and we play very well, I'll be happy. I'm telling you that now, because that's after what I've seen in this few weeks. I just want to see a performance and these players sort of showing a bit of professionalism for their new manager. That's what I want to see tomorrow.
Yeah, I think you've got to win the game first and foremost, Linda. Yeah, and hopefully then win it by 2 goals if we can, but you've got to win the game.
Yeah, definitely. And as Ulster says, we're going to have to play well. I know it's all about results, but you can't all of a sudden just win a game of football. You have to play well. You have to show a bit of form, and we need probably at least seven of our players to be getting at least a 7 or 8 out of 10 tomorrow night, Ox. We really do, to enable us first of all to get the win, and then as you say, if we get the 2 goals, that's great. I would like us to get the result that'll get us through, and then we can maybe just park that for now and then start to focus on the league. And I think it would give us a bit of momentum. Because when you were talking about the cup game, I was hoping that a win on Sunday would have given us momentum to take into the game tomorrow night. But now we're actually looking for that to take us into this really tough schedule of games coming up. I know it's only 1 game at a time, but Ulster's right. We do need to show up tomorrow night, and this could really just kickstart us under Gio. It really could.
Aye, I get it. Ulster, we never got your team, Biggie.
I'll give you my team if you want. Or I'll let that caller go first.
Okay, Kenny's joined us. I think you've got the show on, Kenny, or your telly.
It's afternoon.
All right, okay.
I'd actually phoned up to get coffee. I was going to come back on again.
That was me.
I just always phoned up with the team selection and all that,
Yes, give us it.
Wonder, I'm going to disagree. I got McGregor tomorrow night.
Cool. No worries, Kenny.
Put what do you call him in? Right back. No. It's not that desperate. No, I'd put what do you call him in? Right back, I would drop Gav. I know he said about the captain and all the rest. I understand that, he's got to, what I mean. Me personally would part us win. Left back, well, we know that, who we all were in. Unfortunately, the way this looks to me in the morning, we're going to have to play Goldstein, and probably Ball's going to be split. If not, it's going to be.
Kenny, come on, use your team. I've got my work tomorrow. It's 11 players.
All right then. Okay, I'll try to get you. I mean, you're not going through a difficult couple of weeks, right?
I know that, but you're not getting away with it on here. The simple thing is, come on.
Right, in goal, right? What do you call him?
McLaughlin,
yep. Number 2, Patterson. 3, Battery. Unfortunately, we've got to play Mr. Goldstein and Argent a fit. And midfield. Now, this is one of the different things, right? I'd love to see Stevie Kelly come into this team. I said this 6 weeks ago on this show, right? I'd like to see Stevie Kelly. I want Stephen Davis bench tomorrow night. Not because, you know what I mean? I'd just like to see something different. But Kuna and Kamara. And then go with 2 wingers, right? Because I know Gio likes to do that. Go with right. I keep saying it. What's happening with right? Go with Gio on the right. Right on the right, and Kent on the left, and with Sakuna up front. That's my team. Go with attacking wingers, hugging the wings, incidentally. No cutting inside.
I agree with the word situation because
the word situation is terrible.
we played everything in between the 18-yard box at that game at Hampden on Saturday, and I know you witnessed it, Jaffa. It's just unbelievable, no using that width there.
No, it was Ox. Was screaming for it as well. I mean, see if you'd been out there playing yourself, you would. You know what it's like if you play if you play wide on any football match. If somebody puts width in front of you and grass in front of you, as a wide person, the one thing you want to do is run into it. It was criminal, some of the decision making on Sunday. But listen, that's gone now. It's over. I tell you another thing that might happen tomorrow night, and I've thought about it over the last few weeks, and it's only a matter of time he does get a start. They might play Ryan Jack.
Aye, very disagree with that.
Yeah.
He might play Davis and Jack, going back to the way Gerrard first started when he came in, Ox.
Aye, but it depends how fit he is, you know.
Yeah.
But
listen, I will see what it takes us. Interesting team, Kenny. Interesting team. Any thoughts?
I just know that when watching it, Gio, he likes to play with wingers, you know. And I keep saying that Scott Wright especially. Ben Kent was injured, right? Scott Wright still made a breakthrough in that team, you know what I mean? I said that a number of weeks ago.
Scott Wright's big chance for me was against Malmo at Ibrox, mate, when he disappeared, mate.
I know,
In fact, I'll go as far to say that he helped cause the evening because he was culpable for the first goal.
I know he was, I know.
If I'm being honest, Alan McGregor should have saved it as well, but that's another story. Ulster, thoughts on Kenny's team?
Yeah, that's a good team, mate. Well done. You know, I can see the Kellys. The only thing about the Kellys, you know, I have no qualms. You know, if he's playing tomorrow, fair play, and I hope he takes his chance. You know, I think Gio might think it's a bit early for him, you know, because he hasn't featured that much, you know. But if he is one of the ones that are the changes, then fair play. I hope he goes and grabs it by both hands, takes his opportunity.
Aye, I get it. Right, everyone all right in your world, Kenny, apart from the obvious, mate?
Yeah, I know. Everyone's just going through this funerals a week on Friday, you know. It's had to be. My brother was there as well. The top nine there. Pleasure, odd to talk to you guys. It takes my mind off things, you know.
Oh, no bother, mate. I'll tell you what we'll do for you, just because you're on. We'll play a tune at this time. What do you think?
Give me hope. Give me hope. Give me hope, Gio.
We've only lost one game in 8. Let's just see what it takes us tomorrow night. Fingers crossed. Right, get yourself in mute because we're going to have a tune.
The day that I've been longing, it finally came a-knocking. Anticipation in my bones, excitement filled the air. Before the day was over, I'd be in Barcelona. The European Cup Winners' Cup final waited there. As I adorned my colours, I thought of all the others that followed Rangers all their lives and waited for this day. I soon met up with Sandy, wee Geordie and Bob Carney. We shook each other by the hand and we were on our way. Here we go. 20,000 pairs are on the road. We're singing follow, follow, and we shall not be moved. We're off to see the team we love, we're in the buoyant mood. We are the Rangers support. We'll follow on forevermore. Arriving in the city with thousands there already. The smiling faces all around told spirits they were high. The Rangers fans were singing and dreaming of us winning. And walking to that famous ground, a tear came to my eye. Camp Nou, it did echo to the sounds of follow, follow, as 2 goals from Bud Johnson and 1 from Colin's team meant we were celebrating the moment we've been waiting. The Rangers, they had won the cup, and we all lived our dream. Here we go. 20,000 20,000 bears all heading home. We're singing follow, follow, and we shall not be moved. We've been to see the team we love, we're in a buoyant mood. We are the Rangers support, we'll follow on forevermore. Although that day is history and always will be with me, I won't accept it is our last success on foreign shore. For if we keep believing, I'm sure we will be seeing a European trophy rest at Ibrox Park once more. To each one of those players, the Barcelona Bears, and everyone a hero who wore the shirt with pride. If we could just reward you with riches, we would shout you to thank you for the glory and the joy we shared that night. Here we go. 20,000 bears are on the road. We're saying follow, follow, and we shall not be moved. We're off to see the team we love, we're in a buoyant mood. We are the Rangers support, we'll follow on forevermore. We are the Rangers support, we follow on forevermore.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972. It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
There you go. That's a new one. That's an original, huh?
Never heard that one before.
I've never heard that song.
No.
Me neither.
That was lovely.
Just do it for Christmas. Aye. Aye, interesting, right. Right, okay. So, Kenny, interesting team. I get the frustration. I think there'll be a couple of changes. Also, we don't know if Balogun's fit. You know, I mean, halfway a knock. And obviously, they're not going to tell us, Linda, because they're not going to see the opposition. Then are they?
No, because there was a couple of questions asked about tactics, wasn't there, in personnel, if he was going to make changes, and he kind of answered those things in a roundabout way. But I hope Balogun is fit, because I know he didn't have the best of games on Sunday, Ox, but we're quite limited, aren't we, unless you could bring a young guy in from the the youth teams or whatever, or the B team, I don't know, because I think the option for that
what
would
about
be
the
to
youth team result today then, Linda? You've done it again, right in, yeah?
Brilliant result.
Oh, another good result, Jeff, away in Bulgaria, 4-2 victory.
Away in Bulgaria. Tony Weston scored. Was it a hat-trick he scored?
Yes. Yes. Yes, good result for the boys, good result. Well done. See, you done it again. See, Jeff, I see the difference. See what she does. She lines them up, bang, big money.
Professional. Exactly. Big money, mate. Yes, that's what the fees are for. Had the post and went in, Linda.
Another fluke, Jeff.
Aye. But I'd be interested to see what happens with injuries and that. And also...
Well, I had an interesting conversation.
Kenny, wait a minute, mate. Wait a minute. Just wait to hear your name, mate. Wait to hear your name. Right, Ulster. It'll be interesting to see what he does with Lundstrom, eh?
Yes, it'll be interesting, all right. But the good thing is, as he said himself, it'll be a clean slate for everyone. So whoever's putting it in on training, etc., and in games when they get their chance. But I think it's a hard one because him and Davis seem to play that same sort of role, don't they? Really, but I think Davis is getting on a bit in years, so it's up to him to try and take the shirt off whoever's holding it at the minute, mate. But I still think there's a player in there, definitely 100%. We maybe haven't seen it; we've seen sparks of it, but hopefully, if he can get him going again, because he's a lot of Premier League experience, whereas he's obviously a quality footballer. It's just a matter of unlocking that.
Kenny?
Dale, I think he's well documented, but I think he will lose from, the jury's still very much right with Lundstrom, I mean, he's not even in the team I've picked for tomorrow night, No, he's still, unless you'll bring something out on the guy, But an interesting conversation early afternoon, it was over at a certain hotel in the south side of Glasgow. I was over to pay a bill for my father, Mike's rate. And I met a certain guy, not stupid, pretty well aware of the guy, you know. And there's a certain us from the south side of Glasgow, well quoted in the Rangers team and everything else. And he was telling me yesterday what you don't see behind the cameras, right? There was a few players at the major bust-up, a certain individual, you know, and we all know who we're talking about, and he was picking his place. And this is from my good source. This is no any bullshit. I was talking to him this afternoon. He was like, they were putting the hotel for my dad for next week, and that. And he was like, he told me the story. He's well quoted by the Rangers squad.
Oh well.
And so this thing, you know, who is not went down well with some of the team, you know, because at the end of the day, incidentally, he's put the whole team under the bus, you know what I mean? And even I said it last night after the game, Sunday, you know, you know, who we're talking about, is this the philosophy of this team here, or defeated? Because you don't talk that way. The team of no surrender. You know, I said it last night. You can be 4-0 in half time. I still believe we can win that game.
All right, mate. Aye, okay. Listen, Kenny, good to hear from you, mate. And hope everything keeps sorting itself out for you, mate. And once again, all the thoughts for everybody here at Rangers Radio. You look after yourself. We'll catch up with you soon. Yeah.
And I will do. I'll phone you back in a few days, you know. But
all right,
you know, but that's a true story.
Yeah, mate. I appreciate you telling us. Yeah. All right. Catch you soon, mate. Cheers.
Take care, Kenny.
Take care.
See you, Paul.
I get the emotions and I get the passions. We're moving on. Funny, we've all got different teams. I think we've been joined by another caller. No, he's not with us yet. He's not quite with us yet. It'd be interesting to see what the team was. The teams are fully... Oh, he's joined us now. Old Davy. How we doing, Old Davy?
Good evening, folks. How are we?
When are you getting your telly back so we can get shot of you?
Is it in a Granada getting sorted, Kenny? Sorry, Davy.
You've got me. I'm not usually short of words, but every time I come on here, I get a slagging. That's not the way to treat a senior.
Listen, mate,
anyway,
that doesn't bite in here. I'm hearing you're a big fan of the old chick flicks. Is this true?
Oh, a grand old Opry man here. Anyway, good evening, Jamal on All-Star.
Evening, Davey.
Hi, pal.
Anybody else?
Evening, Davey.
Yes, thank you. Unless you're the old Davey. But I have been listening to you very, very... Well, in fact, what I was going to say was I was listening to Van Bronckhorst today's interview, and he handled it, I thought, fabulously. And then they asked McGregor a bit, well, you knew it was going to come out, and I think we've got to let this Goldstein thing go, because that's in the past. We can't go that way now. And McGregor's answer to it just summed it up. He didn't see nothing, didn't hear nothing, didn't hear nothing. But Van Bronckhorst was spot on. I think he'll be just ideal for us at Ibrox, and he'll give the young boys a chance as well. And regarding the team for Thursday, I still say we have got to get as many Rangers men on that park. And that's Patterson, Jack, and the other big boy. They've got to get their shirts on.
I understand that.
Because that's exactly what we're missing.
Mm-hmm. With Patterson, Jack, Davis,
Arsenal, definitely. Definitely.
I don't know if we could have a three-lane player in midfield right enough because of the shape or how we would play, but I understand your thinking. Big Ulster, you know what he's saying. People that know are hurt the same as we are.
Yeah, exactly. You know, I can understand exactly what Davey's saying. He's wanting players in the park that he knows will give 100%, and I can't disagree with that at all, because these guys know what it means, you know, to play, especially Davis. You know, he's got all the experience, and you've got young Patterson. He's probably bussing to get in, because you can see him when he's performing for Scotland and doing absolutely amazing things, you know. And even though he hasn't had much game time because he hasn't been playing with us, but he's still going on creating chances, scoring goals, fantastic. So he'll be bussing to get on that park, and I actually hope he's playing tomorrow.
That'll be interesting. I mean, he has set the. Is he our biggest asset, Linda? John Patterson?
He maybe is now.
Apart from Andy Firth, of course.
Of course. He maybe is actually, Ox, in terms of future value as well. But I agree with what Davey's saying as well, because it's not even nostalgia, it's actually the people that they're replacing are dramatically off form, Davey, aren't they? If you think about Barisic and Tav, I know I had Tav in my starting team, but they really are off form. So surely the people that would come in like Patterson and Bassey, they're not going to do any worse. And by all accounts, the enthusiasm that they show, the way that Bassey's played when he's been in the team recently, hasn't let us down. Patterson's done brilliant for Scotland. So if they bring that for him, and even 70% of that for him, it's going to be better than what it's been over the last few weeks from these other players.
Listen, I'll say this about John Patterson, what I've seen about him, and I'll go to Davey. And I'll put this kindly. Davey's a man with experience, then we'll go to Jaffa, young Jaffa. Right? Patterson is faster than Tav. He's better in the air than Tav.
By a mile.
I think he's got more defensive tendencies than Tav's got.
By a mile.
Crossing, we don't really seen enough of him to judge that yet. When Tav's on form, it's excellent. When he's no, it seems to be one or the other. So we don't know about that. What we've seen with Patterson's cameos, that he has also got an eye to go to run inside. Tav's finishes are slightly different. Is the boy ready or ahead of Tav? That's the big question. Is he coming, catching up and maybe getting by him? He might be. Jaffa and Davey.
I can only go on what I've seen, Ox, on the few occasions that I've seen him up close and personal, and I've seen him live sitting in Ibrox, and he does look dynamic. He's got pace, he's got drive, he gets up and down that channel brilliantly, he covers the ground, he's got a great tackle in him, and he's got an eye for goal. I love Tav, I do, and I'm not about I think the weekend's game, you've got to put things into context. The guys that had a bad game at the weekend, it was a bad game. And I know we've not been playing great, but the whole team's not been playing great. It's not just one individual. There's a collective. I think Nathan deserves his chance. I really, really do. I think I'd like to see him in the team and get a start. And if it doesn't work out, I'll put my hands up. But it surely can't be any worse than where we are at the moment.
All right. Davey?
I agree with a lot of that, but I still think the only reason why Tavernier's retained where he is because they made him captain. And I don't think Gerrard had the bottle to take him away from that. If you go back and look at a lot of the games, all the mishaps have came for his side. Not just crosses.
Oh, mate.
But you're talking about Patterson. That boy's just after playing for Scotland in a World Cup.
I think if you look at the goals, I mean, I know Tav's been involved in a few, but there's a lot of them come down also our left-hand side. Let's be honest about it. The other full-back's not been great at times neither. No saying Tav's been phenomenal. To say that all the goals have come down Tav's side, I don't know if we can Ulster, can we?
Well, I would take Patterson all day long, especially.
I get that. I think we've got to be careful that we're fair in what we say, Ulster.
Yeah, they've all been as pretty poor as each other, if we're going to be honest about it. There's no point just taking out, going out in Tav, because Barisic has been as crap on the other side, to be honest, and as the centre backs at times, because they were like Bambi on ice, especially on Sunday. They were torn to shreds at times, you know what I mean? But on the Patterson thing, definitely get him in the team. I've watched the games for Scotland eagerly to see how he performed, and he's been absolutely fantastic. And he's the burst of pace and the drive that we've been missing because we're so predictable. It's the same old thing with Rangers at the minute. You pass the ball to Kamara to Davis goes out, and the ball's always going to end up either eventually the Kent on one side to Barisic, to cross, or it's going to go to the other side to whoever the midfielder is, and that's whether it be Aribo, whoever it is, and then it's eventually going to go to Tavernier on the other side. So predictable. I think if you've got the likes of Patterson there, you've seen one of his goals for Scotland, you see him driving in, and he's done it a few times for us. I think it was in the cup game as well we played, and you see him doing different. The defender was looking around, and this is international level. 1 minute he'd seen Patterson, next minute he was turning around, Patterson was gone and was driving in behind. And I think we need that because we're too predictable. It's the team set up in a way knowing eventually, no matter how many times, if it takes us 50 passes in the midfield, it's going to go one way or the other. And waiting for the cross, whether it's Barisic or Tav, and 9 times out of 10 this season they've been poor crosses anyway, so we haven't been getting anywhere, and then we're trying to build it all again. So I would say if you likes a Patterson there with his vision and his drive to get into the box as well as his crossing, at times he can change it up. It's less predictable, and in my opinion it'll be our benefit.
All right, David, give your last thoughts. We've got another couple of callers coming, mate. You just give your last thoughts, mate. Good to have you on, mate, as usual, mate.
Thanks very much. Yeah, just hope everything goes well on Thursday. And if as I said the last time I was speaking to you, if I watch that game and I see everybody leaving the lot out in that park, whatever the result is, win, lose or draw, if they put in 100% and leave these shirts out in the park, the place is set in the right direction as far as I'm concerned.
Listen, I think you've summed that up nicely. It's not the fact we get beaten Sunday. We'll lose football games in the future, and we've lost football games in the past. But there's a manner, and we know we have a whimper. And that's, I mean, if the opposition goalkeeper had been man of the match and made 5 great saves, you just say you've hit the bar, 3 kicked off the line. You say it's one.
Can I ask you something else? Can I ask you something before I go?
Yes.
What would you drop? Would you drop? Oh Jesus! Well, I better not ask you. You usually ask the questions, correct? I'll ask you one. Would you drop Tavernier? Would you drop him?
Mate, do you know I've had Patterson behind Tavernier, and I think the seesaw is slowly tilting in young Patterson's favour.
Definitely.
Yeah, all right.
Okay, folks. Well,
just let you know that's us after the new year and after the night, all right?
No bother.
See you, Davey. Take care, pal.
Hey, I'm used to it. When you get to 73, insults they just bounce off. They get my name and fly out, brother.
We'll speak to you tomorrow, Davey, right?
Good night.
Take it easy.
Good night, Linda. Good night, Linda. Glad you're there. You're a sensible one.
Night.
Right, good night.
Oh dear, what a man. He's a character, isn't he?
Okay.
Beautiful soaring him, Linda.
Oh, he's my favourite.
Place is full of characters, Ulster, innit?
One big family, mate, with a lot of different characters. That's what it's all about, mate.
You're talking about characters. One will be with us in a minute. Oh, here he comes. Evening, Andrew.
Hi, good evening, chaps. Good evening, Linda.
Hi, Andy.
Evening, Andy.
Hi, Andrew.
Hi, Ulster. Great to have you back. Great points there. Enjoyed them. I'm not going to bang it. I'm not going to shout off like I think it's all been said. I've made my points clear to everybody that's known me and texting who I spoke to them. It's not good for the blood pressure, so I'm just going to try and be a bit pragmatic here.
When have you started worrying about your blood pressure?
Well, I've got a lot of irons to sort out just this week right now, so I'm going to try and be calm, right? My fear for the team is Broncos has got a big problem there, right enough. I think the problem stems now where we've got 5 or 6 players in there. As I've repeatedly said, even when we won the league, I don't think it's good enough to play there. I think they're down to tools, which has been obvious all season. I think whatever Gio tries, the certain players in that team, you'll not get out of him. I think in Kent and Kamara's head, I think they're already away. So I think they're a busted vessel to put in the team now, although he may be forced to do that. My real worry is we must, and I hate to say this because we're 4 in front and we should have had this league sewn up, we must be at least level or round about them from the New Year shutdown. Then Gio can move on a couple that don't want to be there, hopefully get a couple that he wants in, and we can go again. And he'll have the time with him to, put his ideas across. I'm really worried about that. I can't see these players getting up, these certain players here. And the Golson thing, a lot of what he said was right beforehand. But no, you cannot. I don't care what anybody says, come out and say that. Not in no way. I was bad enough with Tavernier's statement last time we did it.
What's your blood pressure?
My blood pressure's calm right enough, honestly. I just worry. I just want us to be in it. The 4 points we've got could quite easily go with the attitude of some of them. I mean, I'm on about downing tools. I don't think half of them's picked the tools up this season, if we'll be honest.
We haven't been great, mate. I mean, there's no... We can...
that's not bad, eh? That's calm.
They're bad, and no expletives as well. We haven't been great, but if we'd have stumbled over the line on Sunday, we'd have been looking back saying that's us into a final, and we've won our last 2 league games and scored 10 goals, Linda, and then Jaffa. That we thought we'd turned a corner because we've seen the goals start again, and then lo and behold, we don't know what. Is it our defence it's bad because they're leaking goals, we're not scoring enough goals, my midfield's not creating or helping the defence. So none of the factions of the team, and our goalkeeper's not keeping them out. So none of the factions of the team are working, Linda. Then Jaffa.
Yeah, and just quickly on that point about Sunday, Ox, you're right. We just wanted them to stumble even through the game and win the game by hook or by crook, and it was because it was a whimper. And see the point Andy makes about players down in tools and maybe not getting up for it, like Kamara and Kent. If they don't, he's going to find that out really quickly, Andy, and I think they'll find themselves on the sidelines because he's got to then give other people a chance. And arguably Kamara and Kent are probably the 2 of our biggest assets, as we've said in the past, but he quickly will need to bench them, or they might find themselves out the squad, Andy, as far as I'm concerned, and just give other people a chance.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. I mean, I think Kent found that out pretty quickly yesterday's training session, late enough. I mean, I find that really, really bad, that the way that attitude there. Right? I get that Gerrard went, he took his backroom staff and all the things that's been around the club just lately, but you can't have that in any walk of life. You've got to stand up. Even if you're in the rank, sometimes you've got to stand up for what you believe in. They're players. They don't care. They don't get it, half of them. And at the end of the day, it's all about their own personal pride. And if you're going to go out and perform like that, what other club's going to want you? I say Kamara and Kent, or whoever it is going to go where they think they're going to go. If they're going to get murdered, if they think they're going to get big clubs in there, not a chance.
I still don't think Kent's fit, Jaffa.
No, I don't think he's fit either.
There was a time in the first half with McGinn, and I thought Kent's going to go by him here, and it just wasn't there.
He pulled up again. The ball was played down the left-hand side, the channel locks, about the 16th minute or something like that.
Aye.
I know. I saw it. I was just behind that where my seat was. I think the other thing, Andy, as well, we Guy, I think Kent definitely, in fact, I would 100% put my money on it. Kent gets Glasgow Rangers, no 2 ways about it. But if he does want away, and Van Bronckhorst, I'm sure, like any of the moderns we've alluded to earlier on, these guys they've got all the aces in the locker, all the cards fall on their side. If he wants away, he needs to be playing, and he needs to get his move. And that's the best way to get your move and get the big contract, because that's just the way it goes. When he's sitting down with whoever it may be, if he's not playing, if he's not in the team and he's not playing, your negotiating skills, your agent's negotiating skills diminish somewhat. So it's in the player's interest to be in the team and be playing, and also to be professional, because that doesn't look good on their CV where they're going to move on to. if they do want to go, as we've said, Andy, we'll never know the guys in the dressing room. But I'll tell you one guy that will know very quickly, because he's played professional football and he's managed all his days. Giovanni Van Bronckhorst will know within minutes of talking to them whether they want to be there or whether they don't want to be there.
Yeah, I definitely agree there. He's got a style about him. You, sometimes you just get a look and you get annoyed. You look at him. I don't think you'll piss him off more than once or two times. I think he'll be gone. He'll no stand for that. And I think that's what Rangers have lacked for the last 3 or 4 years. Even under Gerrard, he had too many favourites and too many friends, which I said on numerous occasions would come back and bite him on the backside.
Talking about friends and favourite, did you visit your mate in hospital the day?
You talking to me?
Aye.
What makes that? Because my father-in-law's in with a heart attack.
No, Mr. K. Yeah.
In hospital?
Aye, I think he was at a psychiatric hospital. We think he's told last night.
Well, I spoke to him last night, right after the show, right enough, and he was definitely fizzing. But I've got to stand up for him. I thought his points were fantastic last night. You know, I mean, it's good to see Alec go like that. He's usually not a comedian.
We let him on, because we have to pick it. But that's 44. We reckon that's 144 times. He's still not made a good point yet.
He'll be coming for you. Hey, you behave, because he gives it to me right when you give him a stick, like I caught for it.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, Andy, you could give him a shout, because I think BT Sports are looking for a stand-in for a gig tomorrow night.
Aye. Well, there's a certain guy that's not going to be coming there anyway. That's a fact, isn't it?
Your mate likes the media limelight, doesn't he?
Oh, he's good as that. He likes to let you know who's the boss. Well, thinks the boss, right enough.
Well, there's only one boss. She's on the phones at the moment.
Very nice indeed. There, right enough. You know, I could have spent more time talking to that lady and talking to you bangers.
Yeah, you know. You took the peep at your gas, didn't you?
Oh, yeah, very nice. Yes. Very pleasant. Yeah.
The boss.
Makes a old man feel very happy, put it that way.
I think she does that quite often. Yeah.
Oh, hey, come on, behave yourself now. I was just talking about the tones.
No. Right, okay. Right. I'm just waiting for a couple of people to come in. Aye, look, mate, I get the frustrations and hindsight with Gerrard, and maybe he got us over the line, and maybe he might tell us a different story about he wanted to do things and he couldn't get to the next level and he get frustrated or whatever. We'll never know. Oh, come out the wash.
Yeah. I just wish he'd have done it, to be honest with you. They felt that way, because he's obviously not been at it right from the Tranmere game. And I just think he should have said, right, I've done what I've come here to achieve. I've stopped what they thought that they were going for, which they never were, because there was never 10 on the table. But, should have gone out at the end of the season, get a new manager. Obviously, we don't know if it would have been Gio, if that would have happened. Some time to get with the players and look in these guys' eyes and get rid of them.
But Andy, how do you get rid of them if they just want to sit and take the wages?
Well, yeah, that's a Bob Valde syndrome, isn't it? Right, and I forget all that. Yeah, I'm totally with you. But I mean, I think sometimes if we keep putting these guys in, that's continuously, apart from last season, have let us down, bottled it in 2 occasions. It's the same players practically. It's the same attitude, the same mentality that's come out of them. That's come back to the fore again this season with them. If we don't change and don't try, we're never going to know. We're just going to keep going through the same old motions of what these guys do on certain games. We'll just the 4 points we've got will fastly turn around if we don't watch what we're doing here. Their attitude's got to be right. It's a 40 million, 30 million pound league. For me, Sunday's more important than tomorrow night. I get we've got to get a win. But for me, it's all about winning that league and the Scottish Cup. That's the two things. We win the league. It doesn't matter whether we have another couple of rounds in Europe, because we've got the money and we're guaranteed and we can go fourth next season. It has to be about the league now.
I think that's always been my priority, but Europe's important for revenue before you get to next summer. Anyway, talking about guys who aren't worried about revenue, we've been joined by Alex. How are we doing, mate?
Good evening, Oxford. Jaffa, Linda, Andy, is Ulster there as well?
Ulster's there, big Ulster's there.
Yeah, man. How are you, mate?
Good evening, everybody.
Hi, Alec. How you doing, pal?
I'm fine, thanks, Jav. It was nice here talking to the boss lady. Very nice.
We're going to struggle to keep her. I think Sky's coming already, you know. It's a bit like Fox and it's a bit like Tavernier and Nathan Patterson and now with Fox and the Boss Woman, is it? I'm not commenting on that one, Alex. Right,
Ruby's a bit more upbeat. We're a bit more upbeat now. I must admit now. I kind of took it quite bad. I must admit. I never thought I'd see me taking quite as bad as that, but there you go. But listening to Van Bronckhorst today and that, I feel a bit more positive. It's just the team selection and that. I don't think he'll change it that much, to be quite truthful. I know exactly how I would like it, but I think he maybe just go with the pride that he's got now and give him another chance at it.
What would your team be, Alex? If you were on this, if you were picking it, who would you?
If I was picking it, to be quite truthful with the form and that, I would probably go with McLaughlin. I'd play Patterson. Obviously, Golston would need to play him as much as what we've got to do in that he's there. If Balogun's fit, Balogun, and I would play Bassey. Midfield, I would play Hadji, Stevie Davis, Kamara, and the three up front, Aribo, Fashion Sakala, and Ryan Kent.
Alan, did you think Kent looked fit on Sunday?
No, he definitely did not. But the thing about him was in that once they took him off, everybody around about me were kind of upset about it. And although he wasn't great, he was the one guy that you could expect to try and, get us a goal back. Because if we got the second goal, I think it could have been right. It could have been a different outcome of the game and that. But it's by the pass now. But I just think the team in general, the form went right out the window with a full lot of them. And that was the disappointing thing about it. Is because it was a semi-final and that. I really took the sales out of everybody. But I mean, it's by way now and that. And the comments, I'm not going to go on about it and that because some folk think it was right, some found it wrong. I've got my own opinion on it and that. I'm just more interested now. We've got a new manager in. And let's just see where we can go for here now. I know he's only done.
You're one of the wise men that comes on here. What's your opinion and first impressions of Gio?
I think it's going to be really good. I know one thing when you read about him in that he's no frightened to make decisions. Doesn't matter what kind of player you're. He'd already dropped one of the Fairner, the captain. He's two or three other players that was right top players in the team that took them out. So I think that way he just goes in, and it's going to be his way. He's got a reputation to sell, and he's not going to let go with guys that's no one to be there. I don't know what the setup is at all. What happened to the team in that way? Steven Gerrard, whether it's had a big impact on them or not. But the bottom line is we've got a new era now. We've just got to get behind the team again tomorrow night, and let's go for it and see how we get on. And the guy will suss out himself who wants to be there and who's not pulling in the direction that he's wanting to go to.
Talking about people we always want to live with, we've been joined by Bob Chair. Evening, Bob Chair.
Hi, Ox. How you doing?
Oh, the better for hearing you.
Hi, Bob. Sure. I got the back end of Alex's comments here. I couldn't agree more with the man. If you want to play for the Rangers, good. You're welcome. If you don't, on you go. Straight and simple as. Straight, cut and dried. I've not heard. Is there any updates today or anything like that? No.
No. Apart from Giovanni's press conference where he gave us away absolutely nothing, Lindbergh, but was professional.
No, Bob, he never gave us any updates. Nobody asked him about injuries or anything either. So we don't know about Balogun because obviously I think he had a bit of a knock. So
you're a bit of doubt, is he?
Aye, I think he is, Bob. But we're all deliberating over teams, and there's been a few different ones given. So it'll be interesting to see who he picks tomorrow night.
Well, a friend of mine was telling me that he's seen a bit of a video of the training. It's one of the boys has shouted at Kent, listen, The tricks are for the circus. Keep it simple. So
that was
you never know.
Mackay, they're a strange league day, Mackay's.
Mm-hmm.
Right, we've seen that Roy Mackay. Telling Keck, keep it simple. Yeah, tricks are for the circus, yeah.
One touch and move.
Yeah. Just an update in Scottish football. The bottom of the league team in the Scottish Premiership beat one of the finalists in the League Cup tonight. What does that do?
Ross County beat them.
Aye.
For God's sake, really, aye.
That was an art. That's an art.
Aye, because they leave everything on the pitch against us, Alec. Yeah, we know it.
Every team have says it. Everybody we've played, Dundee United the following week get beat. Hibs the last time. Everybody else has had a go as our Drewis, our Hearts, they get beat the following week as well. They seem to put 150% in against us. And this is the result. They just take their eye off the ball when they play lesser teams. And there you go, it's been proved tonight again.
Oh, the wise men in the pub tell you you're imagining it. No, you're not. It's a fact. Every single one of them up and doing this league, 150%, Alec. 250%, mate.
Absolutely.
There's too many people in the society who are trying to derail Rangers Football Club. And that's just another example of the night again.
I've seen one of them out on the news bubbling their gums tonight, but we'll leave that one alone. Right, okay. Right, where are we? Right, Andy, you said that it's no a priority tomorrow night. I think if you're sitting in that director's box, it's a massive game for the club.
Oh, like it's a massive game, I get that, and it's also massive if we win 2-0 because it takes us into the next round and it's revenue. But for me, I want us to win, don't get me wrong.
I get that, mate.
For the confidence side of it, definitely. But for me, it's a £30 million league. We need to win that league. We need to be on the ball. They need to take on what JL's going to say to them and go forward. The ones that don't want to go forward, they need to be moved pretty quickly. I know it's not going to happen overnight, but we need to get them out and we need to start putting guys in that team that at least we know are going to get hit up to play for the Rangers. We must win this league. It's frightening where we could be if we don't win it. You know, that's just my fear, and I think a lot of these, as I say, I don't even think they've lifted the their efforts up to try for the Rangers this season right enough, and I just worry now that it doesn't matter what Gio says to certain players in this team, it ain't going to cut with them. They've not got a heart to play for Rangers. Shirt's too heavy, and I've said that constantly for the last 3 or 4 years. Even when they win the league, when we've said whether the team's good, I've said they're good to plus on a good day. They're not great. They're nothing like great. They've got a mentality. They've got a loser's mentality. And when you get statements like that, whether it's right or wrong, whether we agree or we don't agree, that is the problem. You never had that in Rangers Football Club the way I was brought up. Mm-hmm. And that really upsets me more than anything else. I can't believe that can actually be said. You can say that in the changing room, bounce off the walls or whatever we did when Gordons and all them were there and they knuckled each other and got on the field to play and they played for each other. If you're getting that, I mean, the captain and the vice-captain's been at it all season.
Did Gorham's team lose to Hibs in the semi-final?
Yes, they did.
Yeah.
But they would have never come out and said statements like that or not tried. That's the fact. We can all say that. They players have got a mentality that Goldstein and Tavernier have not got on all season. And it's one of them won't come out and give a press conference and the other one comes out with a statement like that.
They've been having the odd word with each other. It's been pretty obvious. Ulster, big game if you're sitting in the director's box tomorrow night, then Jaffa.
Yep, massive match tomorrow. More probably for everybody's belief in themselves because, questions has been asked of them now, especially in the media, about their heart and their hunger. So they need to come out tomorrow and impress, and hopefully they do. It's going to be hard for Gio because he's only a few days to change much, but he says he'll try and change a few tactic things, But if we can get a win tomorrow, it'll be important for us moving forward because, as the last caller said there, the league's especially is important. Like last season's league was probably the biggest one for us as in symbolism, but this year it's bigger because it's the money, and then whoever gets the money at the end here, especially in Scottish football, you're talking 30-40 million, is going to have a big advantage over the other side. So we need to win this title. But tomorrow night, yeah, it's important for a lot of things, for the money for this season, and also for what we need to do for the rest of the season. And if we go out and play pretty poor tomorrow, it'll be a hard one to take for everybody, mate. But
yeah, we'll see what it takes us tomorrow night. I hope the crowd get behind the team, Jaffa, because we need them. And if Glenn Kamara's playing it, and it's an if, let's go and let him show them how good a footballer he really is.
Absolutely, Ox. And I'm going along, so I'll be right behind the team tomorrow night. We all will, and I'm sure all the Bears that are there tomorrow night, and the Bearettes will be right behind the 11 players that are on the park, and Giovanni Van Bronckhorst. Listen, I think you've got to put some things into context from the weekend. We were brutal, we were rotten, we were horrible. It's the worst we've been for a long, long time. But you're not telling me guys like Stephen Davis and Alfredo Morelos, even to an extent, and I know there's arguments he's carrying weight and all the rest of it, but I don't know if I buy that one. These guys don't become bad footballers overnight. They've maybe lost a bit of direction. They've maybe getting the vibes from the previous management team that things weren't 100%. We'll never know those truths. But it's a clean slate now. Giovanni Van Bronckhorst is in there. He's got his own squad of guys in there. Let's hope he galvanises them. I've got no doubt he will. And I think the team will be bursting to prove to the fans tomorrow night that was a blip. And going back to your point, Andy, there, I would rather be in our position, being 4 points ahead, than being in the position of the team behind us. And I know it's all down to form, but they're not in great form either. So the league's on, it's game on. Let's get wired into it, basically.
All right, we've been joined by Jordan. Evening, Jordan.
Evening, guys. Hope it's not too late.
Hi, Jordan.
Good evening, Jordan. Hi, Jordan, guys. All right.
Oh, mate, you're all right. Well, is it past your bedtime, like?
Aye, just a bit. Aye, no, I'm up early. I'm on a bit. I'll make it a bit.
Carry on, mate. The floor's yours.
The result on Sunday's even worse now. The result on Sunday's even worse now. The Spoonburners get beat 1-0 tonight after Ross County.
Aye, well, listen, you're behind the times, Jordan. We've already heard that.
I know. I've only listened to us. Just even worse. But,
listen, it's no surprise to anybody on here, is it?
No.
No,
I know.
No.
But certainly not me. Don't know why. I feel a bit calmer now than Sunday. Just need to get on with this now, and it's a new generation under Gio now. I looked at some of the clips for training. They mean business, I think, by the way. So I know people are saying that the league's important, and it is the most important, but I like to see from tomorrow onwards we start playing what we did last season. And I know some people might say, no, maybe it's a bit too much here, but that's the things I can expect now, to be fair. I don't know what you think.
I think we know there's players in there who can perform better, and we're just looking for them to perform for us. That's all we're asking. Alex, we're not asking any more.
That's all you're asking for. Just get there and give us a performance. We've no divine right to beat teams, but as long as you're in there and you've gave everything, the fans will be happy. It's when you get there and put performances on, and the majority of the team weren't even at the races. All I'm going to say is the game tomorrow night is one of the most important games in all. We can't pick and choose now what games are going to win and what games are not. This is a big one tomorrow night. We'll be there tomorrow. Vast crowd again behind the team. I'm already booked up for to go to Lyon. So I'm expecting us to get through, to score 2 goals tomorrow night, to get it by and get in the next round. We know how the league is the most important one, but we've got a lot of games to play. And let's get Gio Van Bronckhorst in there and get the team sorted out the way he wants. Get them into a bit of shape and get the tactics right. And hopefully the players go along here. Because I'll tell you now, the fans will back the team. If they get there and the tempo's up there and everybody can see that Rangers are trying tomorrow night, there's no problems. The problem will be, like Goldstein and that, start losing the ball earlier, miss passes and that, and the team's not playing well. That's when you know the crowd will be on top of them. We don't want that. We certainly don't want that. We want to go tomorrow night, a fresh start, and everybody get the sleeves rolled up and get a victory.
Here. Ulster, then Jack, then Linda.
Yeah, sorry, I was on mute there. Done a bridge, man.
A bridge, man.
No, done a bridge. But yeah, no, it's as I say, it's all about heart, and that's the most important thing. Like that game on Sunday. There was boys there travelled over from here. They were from hometown here, and they didn't get themselves. They weren't getting home to 4 o'clock in the morning. Do you know what I mean? So this is the travelling that we all do, and all of us from Scotland, England, Wales, all around the world would travel to watch our team, and all we expect is the boys on the field to give us 100%. And no matter the result tomorrow, as I said, I want us to win. I want us to win by the 2 clear goals. But the most important thing is I want to see everybody putting everything out on the field. And if we don't get the result that we want, but everybody's busted a gut for the supporters in that stand, then I'll accept it. But I'll be an angry bird tomorrow night if some people aren't putting the effort in and we don't get the result.
Aye. I think it's a game we should win. I think it's a game we should win the night, Jack, for tomorrow night. I don't think they were great when we watched them, and we never performed again.
No, Goldson was missing that game as well. Ox, remember over there, and Bassey played centre half that night.
Aye, and Andy came on the show and said how much we missed them after the game. I remember that well.
Right, that'll be right. Aye. You nearly gave me a heart attack then.
We're a better team than they are, Ox. Man for man, player for player. We're a better team than what Hibs are as well, man for man, and throughout the team. But if we perform like the lads have just said there, and that's all we ask: application, desire, and a will to win, and win your individual battles. I think sometimes we get way overcomplicated with all these crazy systems that we play. See if the guys just go out, they're all brilliant footballers. They're playing for Rangers for a reason. They've got the fancy contracts for a reason, because they are actually really good footballers. Just go out and win your individual battles. And sometimes the rest of the things all just fall into place. I think sometimes even the players get overcomplicated.
I get where you're coming from, Linda, and then we'll go to Bob Gia.
Yeah, absolutely spot on, and you hope that maybe Gio he's not had a lot of time, but he's maybe focused on a couple of wee things, Ox, that he's noticed that he thinks that if he changes it can make quite a significant difference. He says he's looking forward to tomorrow night. The fans are going to probably be out in their orange tops, and it'll be a real welcome for him. But he did say that it needs the focus has to be on the game. But yeah, as Jaffa says, 100% commitment from all of them, but they really do owe us a performance.
Bob Gia.
Aye, you're right, Linda. Well, I'm just like the rest of you. I just hope they can come out here tomorrow night, get it organised, get it up and running, because they're not a bad side. We've seen that last season. They played some great stuff last season. Can I just say this before I go? Scottish football isn't the most desirable place to play. We all know that. Everybody would want to be in this Premiership, but everybody can't be in the Premiership. So you're playing for Rangers. It's a great honour. Get your sleeves rolled up. There's a carrot at the end of it next year to playing at top level in the Champions League, and I didn't see what's a better incentive than that. So come on, lads, get your heads together, get it all back, get playing, and just let's be the Gers that we know we can be. Eh? So I'll sign off for the Hawks, and thanks for having me once again.
Cheers, Bob. Cheers,
all
Bob.
the best.
Night, Bob.
See you, Bob.
Cheers, Bob.
See you later.
Night, Bob.
Oh. Okay. Dodge and Boyle both get sent off red cards tonight, and they'll miss the games against us next week.
Oh no,
the ball get sent off as well.
Nah, so I've been told.
See, on that point, I was going to ask you if I could bring a wee point up. I watched the game on Sunday again. Sorry, I know we're going back a wee bit here.
Mm-hmm.
So the guy Hanlon, he had the challenge on Kent at the edge of the box after being booked. I mean, I know we were playing 12 against 11 because Clancy was in the middle of the park. That was a sending off. And then Newell had a deliberate handball in the first half as well, which would also have been a sending off. And that referee, he's got to be he's absolutely brilliant, that Kevin Clancy. He does it. It's amazing the consistency he's got against us, isn't it?
Yeah, I get where you're coming from, mate. He wouldn't be our favourite, would he?
No, he'll not be at my lodge meetings anyway.
No, I don't. I think very much it'll be anybody's.
Don't worry.
It'll be anybody's. But right, okay. How's it going to go tomorrow night? Andy Felix, come on, turn that frown upside down. Get off that tablets. Get some.
I think we'll win. Whether we'll get two. What worries me is the defence. Can they stay solid enough to get our midfield and our forward line? You know, the opportunity to get the 2 goals to get us into the next round. But I do think we'll win. If we don't, well, you know, it's same old, isn't it? But no, give it the go and give the attitude that we know that we can. Even when I'm angry with them, like we all are, there's only one club for us. We know that. Come tomorrow night, the passion will be there and the battle fever will be on. So come on, we're going to do this, aren't we?
Yeah. Jordan, how's it going to go?
4-0 Rangers.
4? Did you say 4-0?
4-0 Rangers, aye. I've not been drinking. I'm saying 4-0.
All right, okay. Aye, no bother, mate. Nothing wrong with be positive. Alex?
I'm going to go 3-0.
Oh, I'm liking this. Ulster?
Well, I think we're going to probably concede at some stage tomorrow because I just think the form that the defence are trying to put everybody down at time. But I think we're going to score 3, so we're going to be fine. We're going to get through.
Okay.
You can't keep us doing that much, you know what I mean? The bounce back. That's what I love about it. That's it. We've had our bad time now. Let's just get together tomorrow night and go in that park and do their business.
Linda?
I'm going for a straightforward 2-0 with a Sakala double.
Oh, Sakala double. Well, that would move him right up the pecking order if that was to happen, Jaffa, eh?
I certainly would. I'd take that. That'd be lovely. 2-0. That'd be great. I think we'll cuff them. I think we'll turn them over. I think we'll do it. I think we'll turn them over about 5-1.
Oh.
Like it.
Fabulous. I love that.
Here's a big question, Jaffa.
Anybody else in the panel? What's coming?
Hey, Jaffa, are they going to score first?
Probably. I think we'll cuff them. I don't know. I think the boys will be right up for it. I think they'll be right up for it.
I'm saying that I know, Jaffa. I do.
Come on, Rangers.
Right, okay. Listen, can I thank Alex, Jordan?
Pleasure.
Yep, good to hear from you, Jordan.
Pleasure, guys.
Cheers, mate. Of course,
Nice
the one and only Andrew through Leeds.
No problem.
Speak to you soon, brah.
Yeah, definitely.
And it's also always great to hear from Big Ulster.
Thanks, guys. It was great to be on. It was a great laugh as always. Love being on. Thank you.
And of course, Jaffa and the one and only Linda. Thank you, Jaffa.
Thanks for having us on, Ox. Always love coming on to Rangers Radio. Thanks, Linda, for your company tonight. Great points. Brilliant show.
Yeah, cheers, Jaffa. Great show, Ox. Lots of great chat as usual. Lots of points well made. Come on, Rangers. Get us a result tomorrow night.
You're turning, what's her name? Holly Willoughby. You're turning into Phil and Holly used to.
I'll go with that. That'll do me.
Can I thank all the callers tonight? Everybody was on there. Of course, Andy, Bob Chair, Jordan, Alex Fawershaw, Kenny, Old Davy, and of course, Ulster, Jaffa and Linda. Fox.
Great show up there.
Cheers, mate. Fox and Old School Blue for doing the technicals. The boss for doing the phone lines. It's been an absolute pleasure as always. This has been Rangers Radio. We will be back at 7 o'clock with a pre-match show building up to the game. Let me just check. It is an 8 o'clock kickoff, isn't it?
Yes.
Aye, at 7 o'clock with a pre-match show building up to the game, and we'll have Giovanni Brown Bonker's first team. Enjoy the game tomorrow night. Stay safe, and we'll be back cheering on the Bears tomorrow. Take it away, our Fox.
I was on mute there. Sorry, boys.
On Rangers.
Just a one sleep now. Keep it going. Keep it going.
All along the walls of the Ibrox halls are pictures of legends of old, making history for the world to see. The stories of glories unfold. We are the legendary Rangers. We wear the legendary blue. Today, forever, and for always. We are Rangers through and through. Well, the legends come and the legends go, but Rangers live on just the same. For a new one's born when the blue shirts won, and we all remember their name. We are the legendary Rangers. We wear the legendary blue. Today, forever, and for always. We are Rangers through and through. And there is no doubt what we're all about when we face the world and say, bring it on some more, 'cause you know for sure that we don't do walk away. We don't do walk away. We are the legendary Rangers. We wear the legendary blue. Today, forever, and for always. We are Rangers through and through. We are the legendary